Okay, it's the 20th, and this is volume 20 actually. As you see, it looks different. That's because, sure enough, iOS allows me to record the eBay app through its video recording. However, when I'm going to edit it, the audio was not there. So I'm having to do this as a separate narration track. There's a Snoopy detector. Of course, we've seen that plenty of times. And here's a whole bunch of ESLs, even though I don't see the 331 I've been looking for. And the 320 isn't there, even though we've seen those a couple times previously here. And here's there's 4 of those G-Cons. You can see they're hardwired, but they don't have the battery backup. They're cool though. I have the 10-tech version in my collection. I think you've seen that. And I've seen them, I think I mentioned that. I saw them in the Super 8 in Fort Dodge, Iowa, their old location. So now we jump to the 21st. Waiting for this to finally load. So now we can start browsing. And then we come to this. And these code 1 alarms with an escape light. You see it's got the yellow light, kind of like that remote light I showed you a couple times ago. But then if you look right under that saves live 2 ways, see kind of a beige horn, which is different because I've seen ones with the blue Murata horns like the ESL detectors have used in the past. But then a little bit later I come to these. These things I've tried to filter out, but for some reason it didn't. If you notice, there was that LTD at the beginning of the listing for all of those, so I'm gonna enter that into the filter here. There you go. So we'll just start over. And the last thing today I saw was these Family Guards, and then the Code 1 2000s. Even though obviously none of them are very rare. Then there's a BG8 there, which is also somewhat not rare. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but those Family Guards definitely aren't. Code 1's somewhat. On to the next day. Now it's the 28th. I watched the Red Dead Redemption 2 trailer today that they released. Looks pretty cool. The only problem is I don't have a console, so I can't play it. So here we come to a 2nd generation First Alert SA67D, and then the EverSafe child locator. When I was doing the initial recording, I kind of stumbled on 2nd, and I said, 2nd generation! Then we come to this, right there on the left side. I wish you could hear my reaction, but as of right now, as I mentioned earlier, when I import the video, the audio track is muted. It's not there. So anyway, as you can see, it's a Firex. And then there's a Whelen strobe there. You know, like the VSA 120 or whatever it is that I have, or the Whelen ESL combos that we've seen plenty of times. See, there's like your mounting hardware and the wiring. So that's really cool. I like that. So now we go to October 1st. See what we have today, which is these manuals here we've seen before, and of course those Canadian detectors that we've seen plenty of times already. Might be interested in that one with the strobe someday. And there's an American Sensors there, and then a Lifesaver right below it. They're pretty cool. And here's the Sears picture we've seen. I think I might have shown that to you in a video, maybe not. But anyway, as you can see, it's got the square base, however. So it's the Gateway Scientific one. Here's the Vanguard ones, or here's some Vanguard ones, but they're the metal ones, and I'm looking for ones with the plastic cover that are made by Pyrotector. They're round like that. They're pretty cool. I'd like to find one, you know, that's the conventional where I had it. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Holy crap, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap, holy crap! So now it's October 2nd. Can't believe it's been a year already since I saw my Holy Grail. And I placed a bid on it. But anyway, the only things I saw here were that Lifesaver, these ESLs, and that Bernzomatic gas-powered alarm. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Come on. Yeah! Well, there you go, folks. Well, it's the 8th. Can't believe it's been 1 year since that awesome moment. And still, to this day, it's one of my favorite detectors. I have it right next to me in my bed. Not, next to my body, but on my headboard. I think you might have seen that in my tour video. Here's the First Alert SA1839WI. I've always liked these. Don't need one, but if someone came up and put a gun to my head and said, "You will buy a detector now," this is probably the one I'd buy. Either that or this Firex FXW1A. Now, a week ago today, on Sunday that is, when I was doing an Instagram search for smoke detector hashtag, I saw one from Vancouver, British Columbia that had its cover missing. And I'll show you the picture. As you can see, instead of the Kobayashi horn, it's got a blue piezo. It looks a lot like those Murata piezos that ESL has used in the past. Now we come to this. I thought that this was an old smoke alarm, a rare one, but as you can see, it's the base for a Bosch detector. So then we come to this one. Just a normal cold one, like a CD1, CD3 or whatever. Still pretty cool. However, I've mentioned before, the one I'd like is the Mega Horn model. You get that and do like a distance test for you. Even though since this apartment's smaller than the one in Austin, I can do quite as good of a distance as I could there. Even though I could do a, like a door penetration test. And then next is this picture here from like a news article, 1978. When I zoom in here, you can see that it's a older First Alert like the SA76RC. So that's pretty cool. That's always been the 76RC has always been one of my favorite alarms. We had one in our laundry room in Janesville. You saw that in my picture collection. Now, as you can see, it duplicated the listing right there. It's weird. So we go to October 9th now. Second day of Fire Prevention Week. I had a podiatrist appointment today with the new doctor here in Rochester. However, when he was cutting my right pinky toenail, he cut way too close and he cut the skin, and I was bleeding pretty bad. So I'm actually recording the video at Mom and Dad's. I was in the recliner and had my foot propped up. But anyway, as you can see there's those hardwired decons. Then this Sears that we've seen plenty of times before. However, what comes next is something that we haven't seen. A Smoke Guard Model 700. Well, I've seen one because the one I got, I found here on eBay. But as you can see, this one's got the manual, box, and mounting hardware. Very cool. Mine doesn't even have the manual or box. So it's pretty cool. You can see the factory mutual label there. Now, if you look at the description, you can see the seller did their homework. Right there on the second line. Invented by Dwayne Pearsall, owner of Statitrol Corporation. This model was built in 1971 and revolutionized early smoke detection in the United States. And then, as you can see, condition is good with some light scratches, discoloration, and some hairline cracks. Okay, it's the 10th, third day of Fire Prevention Week. And look right there, code 1 with the escape light. This isn't like the one we saw at the beginning of this volume, because as you can see there, it doesn't have the beige horn. It's a different background, and it's more expensive. And then continuing with code 1s, there's a Snoopy one. I've seen that plenty of times though. And then I have one in my collection. But here's a new tone. A little expensive, but well, they're really old ones. As you can see, it's a model S129, because there's the instructions right behind it. You can see it's a hardwired detector, and the cover comes off with a little screw in the front. It's got an electromechanical horn, more than likely, because I think this is a predecessor to the model S180 and 181, the square ones that you've seen. I have a video of. So we go to October 16th now. And the first thing I saw was this, a picture, even though we've seen that. It's the Newton and BRK. Then we come to the Smoky Stover, which we've seen before. It's a battery model. Might be interested in that sometime. 2250, that's not too bad. Then this Black & Decker with its escort light. we've seen one like that before too. It might have been this exact listing, but it might not have been. You never know. So we go to October 24th now. The first thing I saw today was this. This was listed a couple times at $99.99, as we saw earlier. But now it's $59.99, as you saw. Might get it at that price, might not. But here, we have these old Vulcan alarms. The smoke alarm is line cord powered. And when I zoom in there, you can see it's got the old electromechanical horn. That heat detector is missing its thermal sensor. Then the other one seen better days. Then we come to the American Sensors, a photoelectric one. That's very cool. As you can see, it's the battery model. It's got the larger button. And the side of the box was the back. That's a really cool alarm. Be interested in that too. Then right there's the ESL 320. I was interested to see what horn it has. Most of them have the blue Murata horns I've mentioned before, but there's one on Wayne Alarms collection website that has the black horn with 3 holes in it. So that's really cool. It's 3 round holes in a triangle. Okay, it's October 29th. Here's one of those gold Vanguard detectors. And then here's that kit LED strobe detector you've seen so many times. Because they basically relist it, it doesn't sell. They relist it again, it doesn't sell. Rinse, lather, repeat. However, take a look at this one. This is pretty cool. If you live in Europe, you probably recognize this. Or if you're really into alarms like myself, because this is an EI electronics detector, one of their current models. But as you can see here, it says Samsung SmartThings ADT Smart Smoke Alarm. It's pretty cool. There's its box, and here's the back. It says, initiate optional ADT professional monitoring services, receive alerts, or set lights and other connected devices to turn on and off when extreme temperature or smoke is detected in your home, or are detected in your home. As you can see, it says requires ADT security hub. Not sure if you could use it as a standalone single station alarm or not. In the 4th paragraph there, it says made in Ireland, 2017 SmartThings, etc. Doesn't say like made by EA Electronics for SmartThings in Ireland. You see it has the EA, or as you can see, it has the ETL Intertech listing, but not UL at this point. And the other thing I saw here was this. Basically, a guy installing an SA67D. I think it's the first gen with the larger cover. Anyway, on to the next day. So we go to November 1st now. Here's one of those travel safe detectors. And here's one of those visual alert strobe detectors that we've seen, because I've got one, of course. But I don't have one of these. Yep, it says Master Lock, because that's what it is. But you didn't know they made alarms. But they did. It's actually made by a company called CITOH, CI-TOH. I had one of those in my original collection. You saw that in that picture of me standing by the wall with all those alarms in it. But anyway, there's the side of the box, and here's another side, and here's the back. As you can see, it's got the electromechanical horn and a 12.6 volt battery. And see, it even comes with the instructions. Masterlock made security systems too. I think I've seen it a couple times. Not sure if you saw it on the videos, but yeah, you saw the picture in my old Wanted Alarms video I had several years ago. Then I've shown it a couple times on the TFP forums. So yeah, I'm going to get that in the next couple days. So it's November 3rd. Didn't see anything today, but it's time for me to buy it. Time for me to purchase this. So I tapped buy it now. Waited on this. Then it finally loaded, but crashed. So I have to reload it. Hit buy it now again. Then I got this screen, which of course is a good thing. So I'll have it probably next week. I'm very excited. And of course, I'll have a video on it. Of course. You won't expect anything less from me. So it's November 9th. It's one of those family guards, but nothing interesting at all. Seen so many times. But here's an FX1218. It's somewhat rare. And then here's the Endemico 5706. It's pretty cool. It's a system sensor, basically. Except its base fuel is larger. You've seen it before, though, because it's part of that silent call lot that I had seen a couple times ago. But take a look at that to the left. There's another one. I'm not going to bid on this one, of course. but still, very cool. So if you were to look at the sticker there, you can see that it's chrome, exactly like mine. Then if you were to look there, it said Stacy, Minnesota. That's just north of the Twin Cities, northeast. Yeah, northeast of the Twin Cities. Here, I'll show you. Well, anyway, on to the next day. So it's Monday the 13th. Missed yesterday because Mom and I went to a flea market at the Civic Center. Found a really cool little vintage fire extinguisher in its box, so that was pretty cool. Then Mom and I did some grocery shopping, and by the time I finally remembered to do the eBay video, it was 4:30, so I decided to defer it until today. But anyway, here's a Code 1 smoke alarm, and when I show you the back of the box here, and it finally clears up, as you can see, it's a CD3. Well, that's pretty cool. And here's a System Center 2300. And then this. At first I thought it was a 79R, because obviously it looks like one. First glance here. There's the box. And then the back, which is surprisingly missing its main label. But then take a look at this. Notice those dip switches there, bottom left. And then that weird connector. Matter of fact, that entire additional circuit board. That's pretty cool. So I'm going to get you a close-up in that again. So again, here's the dip switches and that connector. So I wonder if this is like a radio transmitter or something for a wireless security system. Either way, it's pretty darn cool. Interesting. Anyway, the last thing I saw today was this Honeywell TC89D. No, not CD200, TC89D. That's very cool. And on to the next day. So we go on November 21st. The music you're hearing in the background is Mayo Clinic. I'm in the Jackson building. You may remember that from this video. But anyway, eBay kind of glitched out today. See all those unloadable image errors, and then, yep, app crashed. But anyway, the only thing I saw today was this Firex FXB1A. So you see the box is in kind of tough shape, but the unit's in good shape. When I zoom in here, you see it's got the tiered test button. I prefer the dome one, but still cool. Consider it. See, it is in good shape. No rusting or, battery corrosion or anything. But I'm going to get Mom and Dad some USA IOFIC detectors for their house, so might save up for those. Anyway, on to the next day. So we go on November 25th. Now today, there's a group I'm part of on Facebook Messenger that talks about smoke alarms and fans. And one of the members actually posted this and recommended that I get it. When he posted the picture of the back of the alarm, we've seen that before, but then there's something I didn't notice. Take a look at that Firex logo. That's really cool. I wonder if that's the one that they used before they switched to the one that they've used ever since. The one that they still use today, even though now they're owned by Kidda. This one. It very well could be. So, indeed, I placed a bid. Let's hope I get it, but we'll see. So we go to November 27th. It's crunch time. Less than a minute left, as you can see. So I'm sitting in the lobby of the Baldwin building right now. Actually, when I'm doing the video, I'm recording this in my apartment, of course. But anyway, I'm on the Wi-Fi, so I can monitor the end of the auction. Which reminds me, when I was bidding on that Yamaha DD14 you saw in the DD11 video, I was actually out with my sisters in Ohio, and we actually had to go to their public library because they didn't have a computer as of that time. But anyway, as you can see, 20 seconds. So, will I get it? Well, spoiler alert, you've seen the video. Yeah. As I said before, the blood pressure really starts to increase in these final seconds of the auction, especially when this happens. Yep, got sniped, but I still got it. Again, as you know.